Hi everyone, how have you all been? Great to see you guys all again. Whew, today has been a hectic day. Apologies for the late stream. But yeah, I've had a lot on my plate today. I've had videos to edit. I've had a Discord to... Okay, I should not have said that. Speaking too soon, but I was having something else I had to set up. And yeah, I'm also writing a couple of other videos, prepping for others coming up. And also, I had to... What was the other thing? Oh yeah, I was also writing a review for the projector that I showed in my Snow White sponsor video, because I have to do a review for that. So I was just writing some of that before I got onto this stream. So yeah, I've had a heck of a lot to do. Very busy day today. I've still got a ton of work to do, and I'm hoping I get a bunch of it done in time for Squid Game Season 3, because that's coming out this week. So yeah, a lot of work to do. Oh, let's see who's in the chat then. Real-time gaming, that's either someone new or that's one of you who's changed your name. Let's see. What were you? Ooh, real-time gaming. It's been a while since I've been on one of these streams. Oh, your good times, right? Good times. This. Thanks for joining the stream. I really appreciate that. Donated $2 through Super Chat. Oh, we're already getting some Super Chats too. Okay, now one Super Chat said something about Lilo and Stitch. Yeah, Iron Warrior said, gave a $2 Super Chat. It says, Lilo and Stitch made more money than people thought. Yeah, it did. It's made like over $900 million at the box office, I think, as of today. So sadly, it's gonna make $1 billion. I was editing my review, my versus video for Lilo and Stitch. And my versus video is all going well. I've basically edited all the middle part of the versus video. All I gotta do now is record the intro, because I've written the script for the intro, you know, leading up to when I say let the battle commence, and then I've got to just write down my conclusion script. Then I've got to voice those out and edit those, but basically all the footage is put in for the rest of the review. Some footage is not, I'm gonna have to go look for that, but basically the animated footage is in, the live action footage is in, posters are in. Now I've got to animate the posters, I've got to position them, I've got to put in some sound effects, I've got to put in some other clips that are not Lilo and Stitch, so I've got a bunch of work to do on the versus video. Plus, it's this crazy summer heat, and I'm editing all in the attic, where it is really hot up here, so a lot of work to do. Plus, I'm also working on the How to Train Your Dragon versus video at the same time. I'm writing the script for that. So yeah, a lot that I'm doing. Used to be good times, says Real Time Gaming. Yeah, I'm aware. Logman says, hey Eric, I just finished Game of Thrones Season 1 today. It was pretty good. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. You could tell us what you think about... Well, actually, I won't say that just yet. I'll say that to you guys very soon, but you can talk to us about that. I've done something new, which will really open up like almost like an immediate way for you and me and just this whole community to chat with each other. I'll say that to you in a second, what that is. Let's see here. Yo, what's up, Eric? Love these streams every Sunday, says Joe the God. Oh, I'm so glad you enjoy them, buddy. Usually I'm exhausted by the time we get to these streams because I'm doing a lot of work usually. Especially if you've seen how many versus videos I've released recently. I hope you guys have really appreciated the amount of versus videos I've released, because it takes a lot out of me, but I'm so happy because I feel like I'm getting them out in a timely manner, it feels like now. Like, I'm giving you guys a bunch of versus videos. And I got about 50 subscribers recently. You know, that includes when YouTube takes some of my subscribers away, which is irritating when they do that. But yeah, it's going along quite nicely. I feel like this new pace, it feels like I'm doing right by you, because usually I'm always disappointed with myself. I feel like I should try to get these out quicker. But now I seem to have found a method, and it seems to be working. Electrify has done a $2 super chat. Thank you very much, bud. I like how you guys are already doing super chats. We haven't even gotten to the main stories yet. He says, have you watched Twilight? If you had, how is it? You know, I was always going to watch Twilight, you know, back when it came out, you know, back in those days, you know, the late 2000s. But I never got around to it. This is back before streaming came out, so what we would do is we would always rent movies, and, you know, you have the DVD rented for a certain period of time, and the thing is, you have to make sure you watch it in that time, or else it'll go back and you've missed the movie. Sadly, I would never got round to seeing it. I popped it in and just looked at it for a few seconds. I didn't know what to think, but turns out that was probably for the best, because the Twilight movies are known for being like made for like out of touch like teenage girls back in the day, where it's like the why would you want to have a romance like this when this is clearly not a good relationship or a healthy relationship. So I'm glad I missed out on Twilight in the end. So no, I've never seen them, but I've heard people make fun of them. Real Time Gaming says, I need to move to the UK. It's constantly raining for me here. Well, it was actually raining a lot for us here too. When I was setting up the stream, it was pouring it rain. Like, to use to use a British phrase, it was pissing it down. It really was. It was an insane amount of rain out of nowhere. Which is funny because yesterday it was so hot. Like, insanely hot. So, I'm really glad. Big Bash says, how many degrees is it in the UK, Eric? Yesterday it was about 29 degrees. And me in my attic, it cooks me up here if I'm up here for too long. And this is where I have to be to edit the videos and things. So, I got very limited time to edit in here. You have no AC in the house? No, we don't. But we do have some fans. But in my attic, no, I don't think we've set up any AC or anything. Goat says, how am I losing subscribers? The reason I lost subscribers is I don't know why, but YouTube, as they always go through some annoying changes and stuff, and they say, there was a point where they said that inactive accounts that are no longer subscribed, you know, that are accounts that have basically been abandoned for years, they're taking them down. So if your subscribers numbers go down, it's really those inactive accounts going down. But then a lot of YouTubers were noticing that their actual subscribers were no longer getting updates anymore, because YouTube was either unsubscribing them or their numbers were still on your subscribers count, but they weren't getting updated when you were uploading a video. Sadly, I got hit by both of those, so I was losing subscribers that used to be subscribed to me. And also, I was just like, my numbers were going down on subscribers. That's been happening for years now. Every time I upload a video, that usually happens. So yeah, that's something I've always had to deal with, as well as try to gain subscribers. I had to combat losing them too, so it was really a hard balancing act. But the Nintendo Switch versus video the Nintendo Switch video I did really helped out a great deal. Thank you very much, Kevin. Let me just reposition your name. I don't know why you're cut out there. Let's quickly see if I can sort that out. That is so bizarre. There we go. Hopefully that should fix it. If someone does a super chat next, we should hopefully see it should fix the issue. Let me just double check here. What is going on? Oh, I just stretched it is what I did. I don't want to be doing that. Okay, let's just keep it as that. Anyway, what was I saying? Where was I? But yeah, that's something I've had to go through. And when I did the Nintendo Switch, you know, is a big scam video, that gave me a lot of subscribers, and so did the Snow White versus video. So are my other versus videos now. I'm starting to get some more now, so that's good. If I keep on this track, I think the channel will keep growing. And your support always helps as well. There we go, it's fixed. That's nice to see. Alright, now let's answer those super chats I got. Kevin did a $5 super chat. Thank you very much, Kevin. And I got a $2 super chat from Iron Warrior. So Kevin says, films I hate. Godzilla 1998. I actually don't mind that movie. It's not a good Godzilla movie, but it's a good, fun monster movie. Hulk 2003. Okay, I'm not a fan of that either, although I did like it when I was a little kid. And I did see that in the cinema back in the day when I was a kid, and I liked it then. AVP 2. Yeah, I don't like AVP 2 either. Although, it does have some fun action sequences. If you can, you know, so long as you can see them, because that movie was so dark. Terminator 4. I've only seen that once in the theatre when it came out, and I've never seen it again, I don't think. But I did enjoy it for the first time watching, and I appreciated that it tried something different. Transformers 2. I loved that as a kid, but I don't like it now. Nightmare on Elm Street 2010. I hated Nightmare on Elm Street. I liked Nightmare on Elm Street 2010 at first, when I was young. Well, first I hated it, but the more I watched it, it bizarrely gets better in a strange way. 302. Okay, I have not seen 302. Jurassic Park 5, you're talking about Fallen Kingdom, I assume. Yeah, that wasn't great. Hellboy 2019, yeah, that wasn't good either. And Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. So yeah, Frozen Empire, that wasn't particularly good either. And you're asking me movies that I don't like? Let's see, what movies do I not like? I didn't like Blade Trinity. I did not like... I liked it when I was a kid, but I didn't like it anymore. I did not like Fan Four Stick. I did not like 2014 Godzilla, because I thought there was hardly any Godzilla in it. I thought the later movies were better. I also did not like Jurassic Park Dominion. You guys know how much I didn't like that. I did not like Hellboy 2019 either. And yeah, I think that's 5 movies right there. Big Bash says, you've been on point, Eric. You're the best. Oh, I'm glad you thought so, Big Bash. Saeed says, yeah, I watched a Snow White video, although I haven't seen Snow White at all, and it was interesting. Oh, that's good. Diego says, hi Eric, you said you were going to do Superman videos. Do Superman 1 versus Superman 2 and Man of Steel versus Superman Legacy. I've already planned my Superman versus videos. I'm going to try to do Superman versus Man of Steel before James Gunn's Superman movie comes out. And if I can't do it, time does not allow it, then I will just combine them. And I'll do Superman 1 versus Man of Steel versus James Gunn's Superman. So I'll do a 3-way versus video, like I did with the Batman versus videos and the Spider-Man ones. I'll try to do that if I can't do the other. So yeah, that's what I've got planned on that end. Khan says, well, Eric, I'm finally finished with Clone Wars, and I absolutely really enjoyed the finale. Yeah, that finale was amazing. If you look at IMDb, it's got like a 9.9 out of 10. It's one of the best finales ever rated, essentially. Khan says, yeah, I'm also starting to see this numbers go up on your Snow White versus video, like in terms of the viewership. Yeah, it is going up, but slowly, but it's going up. So be sure to share the video and to anyone you know. That can continue to make it, because if it starts to like amp up in terms of views, then the YouTube algorithm will think, oh, people are not bored of this video yet, and it'll keep sharing it. So keep the momentum going. I'd appreciate that. The G Gamer says, how's the projector you got from the ad going for movie? It's going really well. I'm really enjoying it, although it's hard to use it right now because it's really hot up here in the attic. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. My review will come out and I'll describe everything there. Gregory is here, says, Eric, what's your favourite bad movie? As in objectively bad, but you enjoy laughing at how bad it is. Ooh, that's a good question. I'll think about that. Me and my brother, we always laughed at a movie. I'd say Morbius. Morbius and Madam Web. These Sony movies they're hard to watch on my own, but with my brother, we have a big laugh out of it. We really do. So I'd say that one. Eric deserved 100,000 subs with the dedication he puts in his videos, says Saeed. Oh, Saeed, that's really nice to hear. Thank you very much for that. YouTube has absolutely terrible management. Yeah, they really do. Tell me about it. Yusuf says, what is your expectation of Spider-Man Brand New Day? We'll talk about that later, not right now. We'll talk about that as we go through the stories. And Iron Warrior asked on his super chat, do you plan on doing Superman Legacy versus Man of Steel? I plan on doing Richard Donner Superman versus Man of Steel versus James Gunn's Superman. That's my intentions. Here's hoping that I can get to it. The G Gamer says, if there is a video you would want to change a bit or a lot looking back, what would it be? A video I would want to change... Oh, yeah, I'm sure there are videos I want to change, but I struggle to think of it off the top of my head. The Lemony Snicket versus a Series Unfortunate Event video, that was the first versus video I made, and there was something I did in that which I wish I could change. Basically, I kept using the word retarded, and I used it a lot because I thought that was a better way of saying stupid. I didn't know what the word meant. I thought it just meant stupid. I didn't know that word is applied to people. I thought it was just an alternative way and a nicer way of saying the word stupid or saying a more foul word. So that's why I said it, because I didn't want to swear on my channel at the time. But I found out much later that's not what it means, and if I could, I wish I could actually have just used probably a more harsh word. Probably would have been better than using that. So that's something, if I could go back and change it, I would change that. And I'm sure there are a couple other Versus videos that I wish I could change as well, where I'm like, yeah, my opinions have changed on that. Spider-Man 2, for example, when I did my Spider-Man 2 versus Spider-Man Far From Home versus Amazing Spider-Man 2 video, I do think I should have given Spider-Man 2, I think I gave it a 7, I think, did I? I should have given it an 8. I wish I could have given that one score higher. So that's what I would say. So thanks very much for the super chats, guys. I appreciate that. Now that I'm caught up on all that. Ah, Sarah is here. Sarah, it's lovely to see you here. I really appreciate it. I thought I did the stream a bit late. I didn't think you would actually be here, because usually at these points you have to go to sleep at these points or something. So I hope I caught you on a good day. I hope. Goat says your worst video is better than Critical Drinker's best video. I don't know. Sarah says, yeah, I'm going to sleep, lol. Yeah, I'm sorry that I did this late. Before you do go to sleep, though, Sarah, I'm going to make an announcement right now, and I'd love for you to just at least be here for the announcement. Sarah's still here, that's good. Alright, guys, I'll make this announcement right now. Basically, you guys have been asking me for such a long time. Where is it? You guys have been asking me for such a long time, and I think you probably have seen it because I just made a damn mistake. I just noticed. Stupid me. How could I have done that? Maybe you didn't notice it. I don't know. But basically, you guys have been asking me this for a long, long time, and I finally looked into it. I finally looked into it, and I've had to do a lot of research whilst also doing, committing to stuff in life and also committing to these videos. And I finally figured it out. I finally figured out how to work it, and I think it's actually going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be something really special. Now, take a look at my Patreon perks, and look at the one that says Let's Watch for $9.50. Keep looking at that. 3, 2, 1... There you go. Now, you'll see that it's gone up by 50 cents. By going up by 50 cents, you might notice one other little thing right here. There's that little icon right next to the movies and shows, which is basically an extra feature. I have finally joined Discord. Now, I knew nothing about Discord, but people on Patreon were constantly asking me for it. People were asking me for it. Everyone was saying why, like they basically wanted a Patreon, they wanted a Discord, and they were telling me if I could finally make one, and I was like, I don't know how to use Discord, and I don't even know how popular it is. So I basically just stayed away from it. I tried to look into it, but it's quite complicated. And for a first-time person like myself, it was complicated. It was really hard to kind of like get into. Like, it was really difficult. I was like, how am I supposed to learn this? But I finally learned it, and I've finally done it. You guys have asked me for this. You guys, like, really have asked me for this. Everyone's really wanted it. And, well, I have done it. And already, I've just published it a few hours ago, but already I've got 4 of you that have joined. I've heard a 5th one is going to join very soon. They said to let me know, and they actually and someone in the Discord actually said that, yeah, that put the message out there saying that, yeah, this person says they're going to join. I think it was Gregory that wanted to join, yeah. And, yeah, that'll be 5 of you after just a few hours. So, clearly a lot of you wanted it, and it's happening. So, I hope you guys really enjoy the Discord. We will have a lot to talk about. I've got a movies category, a TV show category, I've got a video games category, and I've also got latest movies category, and I'll also include a latest TV show category. In that, basically, we can talk about all the latest movies, and we can talk about all the latest shows, and there's games we can talk about. We've also just got a little chill section in the Discord where we can just chill out and just talk about day-to-day stuff. We also have, like, calling lobbies where we can basically engage in like a live discussion. We can even use like chats and videos if we wanted to. So basically, it's going to you guys. I'm sure you guys know about Discord better than I do. I can finally talk to you guys live like this. Imagine seeing me like this, but I get to see you. We get to chat. And also, we could just jump into these chats. It'll be so much fun. It really is. Already, I feel like I'm able to chat with you guys much quicker by typing on these segments. So yeah, this will be a lot of fun. Sarah says, oh my god, yes, we can call? Yes, we can. She goes, it's going to be so much easier to talk and converse, and I'm so excited. Big Bash is going to make sure to join. I'm so glad you guys are enjoying this. This is going to be so much fun. This will take my interaction with you guys to a whole other level. And do you know how usually I can't review movies super quick because it takes me a while to edit? we can actually engage in conversations about the latest movies before I even start writing a single word in my scripts. So next month is going to be summer movie month, like the big summer movie month where we're going to get Jurassic World Rebirth, Superman, and Fantastic Four First Steps. Trust me when I say we're going to have, I've said we've got a latest movies community channel in there, and we're all going to be talking about these movies as soon as they come out. And Squid Game Season 3 is coming out as well. So yeah, Squid Game Season 3 is coming out as well, so we will also be able to talk about that later this week too. We'll make sure, this really is going to be a lot of fun, so I hope you guys enjoy it. And Gregory has asked a question, he goes, but it's Patreon only, right? Yeah, it's Patreon only, so you're going to have to join, you can see right there, but look at all these perks you get. One thing I wanted to do, I don't know if you guys can see the pattern, I've always wanted to give you guys 2 things per perk. So you can see with the $1 perk, you get trailer reactions and your name in the credits. With early access, you get early access to Versus videos, plus a gaming show, which I still plan to do more gaming stuff on there. I've already done one thing, I plan to do more. But you also get the previous 2 perks. And with Let's Watch, you get, I always gave you 1 perk, which was Let's Watch. That was the one thing. But now, I've given you the second thing, which is Discord. So now you've got 2 perks right there. And yeah, we finally got Discord. You and me can chat with text, we can chat by voice, by video call. We can talk about the latest movies as soon as they come out, before I write a single word on my scripts. So yeah, this will be a lot of fun. Like, I don't think I'll be able to review Jurassic World Rebirth, but that doesn't mean we can't talk about it as soon as the movie comes out. I will be watching it, and we'll be discussing it on Discord. I will make a dedicated little section where it's called Jurassic World Rebirth, and we can talk about it. So yeah, hop on over to my Patreon and join the Discord. You'll automatically be able to join in if you're a Patreon member. Sarah is so excited. Sarah, you know what? I'll say this. I'm glad you're excited. I'm excited too, because I'll finally be able to speak to you, not only with text, like live, but also with voice call or video call. So this should be a lot of fun. This will be a great way. Now, keep in mind, I'm still learning how to use Discord, so I'm not perfect yet. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to get better. But yeah, this will be really, really special. We will finally be able to meet, all of us. So yeah, I hope you guys really enjoy that when it happens. So what do you think? She goes, oh man. Yeah, I did just turn 30 a few days ago, so I guess I am now. Let's see, how are you all guys all taking this? Side says, is Discord free? No, you have to go to Patreon to join the Discord. And that way we can all gain access to it that way. Yeah, I'm sorry. Some of you are saying that that you didn't expect it to pay for it, but like I said, I'm trying to get the channel going. I'm trying to make this a living, and these are other ways. But I'm always trying to give back to you guys too. That's why I only did it. I only made it go up by 50 cents. I didn't make it go up to something crazy, which some people said to me I should. Like they were saying maybe you should do $20 for people to join Discord. I was like, I don't want to do $20. That's too much. So I thought, all right, how about I do 50 cents? This way, these numbers, they look a lot more, there's a lot more structure there. Usually, I think the $9.50 might have been a mistake because it looks a bit messy. $1, $5, $9.50. But when you see $1, $5, $10, it's a lot more structured. So, yeah. Goat, I know, I see that. I'm sorry. I hope when things get in a better situation that you can then afford to do so. But trust me, this Discord thing will always be up. So, yeah, there'll be a time where I'm certain you will be able to join. But like I said, you're going to get all the other perks as well. You're going to get your trailer reactions, your name in the credits, your game show, your early access versus videos, and Let's Watch, plus Discord. So that's a lot of stuff I'm giving you. I'm trying to make sure that I'm not giving you one thing like some content creators do. I'm giving you many things here. Whew. Big Bash says, I've been a patron for 3 months, Eric. I know. I think I wrote your name down here when you did become a patron. Sarah says, I'm so excited now that I don't have to wait for these streams to chat. Exactly. So, yeah, we'll have a lot to talk about. Fireboy says, how can I join Discord? You got to go over to Patreon, and you got to sign up for that perk right there. Once you do, it will automatically send, I think Patreon will automatically send you a link where they will let you join and become, like, you're part of the group chat. And like I said, we've got tons of topics we can talk about here, so Saeed says it's a great community that talk about Superman and other pop culture stuff. Yeah, and not just that, but also games, and we can expand the topics too if people want to talk about more stuff. So, yeah, like I said, and you know what? If everyone joins right now, or during this stream, I will write your names down right here, like I said, and it will stay here for the rest of the stream, and when this video is catalogued on my channel, your names will forever be down there in that video. So, Sarah says, I'm going to go join it. Well, Sarah, if you do join it, I'll write your name down right here. So, yeah. I hope you guys really enjoy this. I did this 100% for you. I've never really been into Discord and this kind of stuff, and I've always kind of put it off, but I always looked into it a little bit here and there. But yeah, recently a lot of you have been asking for this, and I 100% I did this for you guys. I actually took dedicated time out of my working day to actually do this for you guys, so I really hope you guys enjoy it. I Hate Anime says, I upgraded just for the Discord. Well, that's great. I'm glad you upgraded just for that. I Hate Anime, what perk were you on before the Discord? I'm just curious. Was it the early access? Is that what it was? You seriously deliver the best content, Eric. You are the GOAT. Oh, thanks. And I know you're not talking about the GOAT who's actually in this chat. He's also the GOAT. 10 Rex says, what do you think of the Rancor thing in Jurassic World Rebirth? You mean that alien-looking dinosaur? It looks pretty cool, but they've been very sparing with how much they've been showing it. Sarah says, everyone here is the GOAT. Yeah. Let's see, what's going on? Uli the Gordo has joined the party. Who's Uli the Gordo? Batman's Gamer has done a $2 super chat. Okay. Uli the Gordo joined the party. Who is that did that? Who just signed up for Discord right there? That's the G Gamer. Okay, that's good, because I've never heard that name before, and I don't think you would want me to write down that name under the credits. But yeah, let's get to it. I'm going to write it down a bit differently in terms of structure, because I feel like there might be quite a few of you, so I'm going to write it down like this, so we can fit you all in. So I'll do right now the G Gamer. And whoever joins in next, I'll write their name right next to you, and we'll have two per column. Gregory says, I'm cancelling my other Patreon subscriptions just to join this. Well, I'm sorry to those other patrons I'm sorry to those other patrons that are losing you. But that's great. Let's see. So yeah. So G Gamer has joined. Who else is joining? Let's see. Let's see. Oh, it's so nice to see all of you guys here. I feel like I'm actually excited myself to actually talk to all of you. Did Eric freeze? Did I freeze? Big Bass said, so glad the Let's Watch perk was only raised by 50 cents. Yeah, I thought I'd just round it. No, there's not a link in the description. Here, I'll write it down for you guys so you can all join here. That's a very good point. I should have put that in the description. There you go. Let me put that in the description too, because I've not done that. Give me a second. I'll put it right at the top here. Patreon. There we go. It's there now. Oh wow, I Hate Anime was on trailer reactions before he actually went to the $10 perk. Wow, see, I'm glad, because a lot of you guys said that you really wanted me to have a Discord, so I'm glad that it actually worked out. All of this, that I did it. And it was an actual thing that you guys wanted. Because imagine putting all the work in and then no one wanted to join. That wouldn't have been so fun. Okay, so we got a $2 super chat from Batman's Gamer here. And he asks, is Brand New Day a Hulk or Punisher movie now? Lol. Just you wait till we talk about it. It's actually more than that, believe it or not. I'll explain that in a bit. Alright, let's see. Who else has joined? Big Bash says, Eric, when will we get to the stories? We'll get to it very soon. I'm just waiting for some people to join Discord so I can write their names down here. Then we'll move on to the stories. Wow, 33 minutes in. No wonder you want to hear the stories. Why have I gone all orangey? It looks weird. I don't know what happened there. Sony's contract with Marvel Studios still active. Yeah. Eric, if you leave Patreon, are you still in Discord? Sarah, I don't think you will be. I think then you'll only be in the Discord for that month, and then it will log you out. So you gotta. That's one of the things where you have to stay on it. But then, yeah, it'll be, like I said, for 30 days, you'll be part of the community every single month. So I hope it's worth it. Like I say, plus you'll get all the previous content too. And what is going on with the color on the screen here? Okay, I think a few more people are joining because I'm hearing some sounds. Let's see here. Oh no, Movie King is posting to the Discord. Oh, J.K. Rowling says, I read the first 2 episodes of the forthcoming HBO Harry Potter series, and they are so good. Is she being paid to say that? Because it doesn't sound like it's going to be good. It sounds like they're not paying attention to what she said. Ooh, boy, I don't know what's going to be happening with that Harry Potter. I'm surprised she actually even tweeted that out, really. Maybe they're paying her for it? Alright, so, has anyone else joined? I Hate Anime has just edited their membership. Has I Hate Anime done, I Hate Anime, what have you done? Have you commissioned a video or something? Oh, Sarah says she'll be back to say bye. Oh, okay then. Well, I'm glad you're gonna come back to say goodbye. But I'm glad you're here also for the announcement, Sarah. All right, let me quickly take a look at this. I just want to make sure before we go on to the stories. We'll go on to the stories right now. Who did that? Someone went on to one of my commissions. I mean, it looks like they did, or am I just seeing it wrong? That is very weird. I hear Anime, it says that your membership went from $1 to £81.60. That is bizarre, that is. Oh, you just upgraded the Discord access. Maybe this is a... because it doesn't show up on my computer. I just got this email. Maybe it's just an email issue. Probably. Alright then, anyway. Oh, you bought the annual. Right, right. Okay, I get you. I get you. You know what's funny? I didn't even know I had an annual. That's interesting. I wasn't aware of that, but cool. I know I did annual, I think, for some others, but I didn't know I did it for all of those. Interesting. It's bizarre, it only says 1 member on the Discord, even though I know quite a few of you have joined, so maybe it's got to update itself. But yeah, that is right, Khan. Long story short, I've announced the $10 Discord. So yeah, a couple of people are already chatting in the Discord as I'm doing the live stream. That's new for me, that is. Goat says, when will I be able to join for free? It's going to stay on this $10 perk, so eventually when you can afford that, that's what it will be, buddy. That's what I've got it at. Okay. So, let's see here. Alright, we're going to get into the stories now. Anyone else who joins, I'm going to, like I said, credit you in the credits down here, so bear that in mind. I can't seem to find where to sign up, says Sarah. Sarah, all you gotta do... Big Bash said Eric listens to his fans, unlike Disney. Yeah. I guess I do. Sarah, all you gotta do on Patreon is you gotta click on the link that I gave, and do you know where it says Home, Collections, Chats, Shop? Click on Membership, and then you'll see all the tiers that are there. And whatever tier you are on, just... I think you're on the Let's Watch tier. Just pay the 50 cents extra. You'll see the $10 a month tier, and that will get you in. That's what I meant, Sarah. Click on Membership. It should have the Home tab and all that. Click on Membership, and then it should let you pick the... page. Yeah, it should. If it doesn't work, let me know. And if that works, I'll write your name down, and then we'll get straight to the stories. There's a lot of interesting stuff to talk about here, particularly that Spider-Man story. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on there. Although I say interesting, but some of you might think it's a stupid idea. And you might think that Marvel, I'm not exaggerating, you might think they're pulling another Captain America Brave New World. Thanks for clearing that up with me, by the way, I Hate Anime, because I thought that Patreon had done you dirty for a second there. I didn't know you had done the annual. G Gamer is in the Discord right now. Just sent him a little message. Wow, I Hate Anime is here too. And then he just deleted his message. Who said they're tired? Why? Goat says, bye, Eric. I'm going to bed. No problem, buddy. Okay. All right. I'm sorry, bud. We're gonna get into the story right now, so we'll talk about that. Sarah, I hope you're succeeding. I hope, because then I'll write down your name. So, all right, I'm gonna get into the story, and then once you've joined, let me know, Sarah, and I'll put your name in right next to G Gamers. Okay then. Oh, Logman finished Game of Thrones Season 1 today. Oh, he's mentioned that earlier. Okay. Alright. Oh, Sarah's on here now. Okay, that makes 6 of you who have now joined. Okay, Sarah, has it worked? Well, once she confirms that for me, I'll write her name down. Alright, guys, time to get to the stories. Let me get my notes up here. She goes, wait, give me a sec. Okay. Let me just get my notes ready, and then we'll get onto it soon. There we are. Minimize. There we go. Oh, minimize that. I'm working on a lot of scripts right now, so I've got them all on my computer, and I've got to minimize them all, so I've got my live stream notes. Ooh, I forgot to write one bit of information about the Thunderbolts story. Give me a second. There we go. Got it. Okay. Big Bash says, Eric, what time is it in the UK? It's 1:19 in the morning. So yeah, it is late. Okay then. Tenrex says, hey, when I get the chance to join the Discord, can I sing the Scuttle song to bother you, or are you just going to kick me out? You can try. I don't know. I've never been part of a Discord before, so let's see. Will I regret this, or will it maybe not be as bad? I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah, you can all join the Discord anytime you like at this point. Alright then, so I'm going to get into the stories now. Movie King, I don't drink coffee, although I do have a lot of water here, which is actually quite finished a lot already. Some of the guys being a bit goofy in the Discord. Okay, I'm going to minimize the Discord now and just focus on the live stream here. Cornflower. Who's Cornflower? Is that Sarah? Is that you, Sarah? It is. It's Sarah. Okay, that is great. Welcome, Sarah. Welcome to this. Welcome to the Discord. And that means I can write her name down right here next to G Gamer. So where is Sarah's name? Aslog Sarah. A that way. There we go. G Gamer and Sarah, both on the stream right there. There we go. Hi Alex, how you doing? I just announced my Discord that everyone's been asking me for, so there we go. Okay. So yeah, basically I've announced a Discord, Alex, and a few people have already joined, hence I put their names here. I've got about 5 people joined already, so if anyone wants to join, all you got to do is head over to Patreon, take the perk that has the Discord, as you can see right here, and there you go. You're a member of the Discord, and we can all start chatting. And be part of like some detailed discussions when movies come out, especially during summer movie season, with the next month when 3 movies come out, and when we talk about Squid Games coming up this week. Season 3. Alright. Crazy Cat Lady says, if I join, you watch the Goofy movie. We can talk about the Goofy movie, that's for sure. Sarah says she has to go to sleep. That's okay, Sarah. We've got a much easier way of chatting with you now as well. So, thanks for joining the Discord. Hope you enjoy it once we start chatting. And yeah, I can actually say this now. I look forward to actually seeing you and chatting with you. So, yeah, take care. Sleep well. Adam Grunther has joined. Man, people are starting to join all of a sudden on this stream. I feel like I'm gonna have to explain this again. Adam, I've just don't know if you are aware. You've not missed any stories yet. Sarah is just about to leave and sign off, but I've announced a Discord. G Gamer says, "Yay, we can have a Discord movie night with Megamind 2." Nah, just kidding. I've still got to do that review for you. I still plan on doing it. Just summer movie season is insane right now. But yeah, we could potentially, I don't know how that would work to arrange a movie night there, but I guess we could on Discord arrange a movie night. We'll see. But yeah, Discord I've got enabled, and we can instantly chat about movies and shows as soon as they come out. So even if I'm not able to review them, or review them at all, or review them soon, we can instantly chat about the movie with a video call, or audio call, or just by chatting in text. So there'll be a lot of ways to chat now. I hope you guys all enjoy that. All right, take care, Sarah. Bye. Or Prince of Egypt. Yeah, we could watch X-Men 97 Watch Party. Adam, I will try to watch that at some point. I know you really want me to see it, and you've got me curious. I'm gonna upload the last episode of Let's Watch Daredevil, which I'm sad was taken so long, but it has been, like I said, really insane right now. I'm certainly busy. I'll get that up, and then I'm gonna decide to watch Invincible Season 3. We'll see if I record my reaction to that and stuff, and then we can do the watch parties. Okay. Loki watch party, said Fireboy. Yeah, we'll do Loki at some point too. You know what? Should I just watch Invincible on my own? Do you guys want to see Invincible Season 3 Let's Watch on my Patreon, or do you not mind about that one? Let me know that right now, and Movie King wants that. Khan doesn't particularly mind. But Khan, you're not on the Patreon for Let's Watch. That's the point. I'm asking people who are on Let's Watch. Adam, I know I did Discord, Invincible Season 2. Not on Discord, Electrify. I'm talking about on Let's Watch on Patreon. Because if you join for the Discord, you're also going to have Let's Watch available. And you can see me react to every episode of Invincible Season 3. Do you guys want that? Blizzard says maybe. That's not really helping. Movie King wants to watch my reaction. Adam Grunther says, watch X-Men, you reacted to Invincible... I know that's in Season 2, but do you want me to do Season 3, or... Really, Adam? Season 3 is not that good. I've heard people, like, sing its praises like crazy. It's more episodic. Oh, that doesn't sound so fun. People say the finale is, like, as good as Season 1, though. Movie King says, no, Season 3 is great. Big Bash says, I'm fine if you don't. I would leave Loki out of Patreon, said Saeed. The final 2 episodes were amazing, though. I don't mind. Still, okay, what if I reacted to the final 2 episodes, maybe? Maybe. What if I did that? Would that be better? If anyone bothers me, put the Broadway How to Train a Dragon Off Toothless. Yeah, that's what... Adam says, yeah, let's do that. Okay, then. Movie King says there is only 1 filler episode in Season 3, but other than that, super peak. Okay, I'll probably try to watch the final episode or 2 on Patreon for you guys then. Rohan, my weekend was great. Thank you very much. How was yours? Okay, I think we've put this off a lot. The Discord discussion really went on for a long time. You guys know how to join Discord now. All you gotta do is just go from the $9.50 perk to the $10 perk. It's literally just 50 cents more. So I hope that will be a lot of value for you. And yeah, I guess we can now... I guess we can now get onto the main story. So, story number... Oh, I've not got these organized. Hold on. Hide that, and hide that. Adam says, I think a Superman 78 watch party would be great for the upcoming movie. I actually want to watch that movie on my own without feeling like I'm in a watch party, because I've not seen that movie since I was like 10 or 12. And I want to watch that movie because I'm going to be doing a versus video with James Gunn's Superman with that, so I need to write notes. And I don't want to feel like I have to... I don't know, I feel like when I'm in a watch party, I'm getting very conscious of people being there, but it'll be too much to focus on you guys, and then work, and then the movie as well, so I'm going to try to do that one on my own, so I can take my notes properly and really enjoy it. Let's go. It's fun chatting with you, Alex, Big Bash. Okay, great, I'm glad you think so. Okay, what we're going to do now... is we're going to get to the story. So, okay, here we go. Spider-Man Brand New Day. New information has come out about this movie. Quite interesting information as well, by the way, if I do say so. Apparently, it's been reported that John Bernthal's The Punisher is going to be in this movie. Now, that's quite surprising, because I thought if they were going to bring any character into Spider-Man, it would have been Daredevil. I thought that's what they would try to do, but The Punisher? I mean, The Punisher was introduced for the first time in a Spider-Man comic, so that makes sense. But the reason why I say The Punisher is because The Punisher is known for being rated R. So to bring this movie, they're definitely going to bring him down, and they're going to make him PG-13. So I'm surprised they didn't put Daredevil in there, because Daredevil would adapt, you know, sort of like adhere to the PG-13 better than the Punisher would, so I'm surprised. Unless they put in the Punisher and Daredevil, but I don't know if they're going to do that. But yeah, that's that's kind of... I'm trying to wrap my head around why. What's the story? Why would the Punisher need to be there? And if this takes place after Avengers Doomsday, it's bizarre. We really don't know what the story is going to be, because it's meant to be the in-between Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. That's what the Spider-Man movie is meant to be. And it sounds like a lot of characters are in there, because as well as getting the Punisher, we're also going to get Sadie Sink's character, and then we're also going to get a couple of other characters, which I'll mention to you right now. What we're also going to get, now it was rumoured for a while that we were going to get this, is Mr. Negative. Because they were looking to cast someone who was of Asian descent and within like the age of 30 to 50 or something. And people were like, well, that's Mr. Negative. So Mr. Negative is going to clearly be in the movie. And then also, I heard this. I've already reported on this before, but I've heard it more from people now, that Mark Ruffalo is going to return in this movie as Bruce Banner, you know, Professor Hulk. But now, this is where things get interesting. I actually heard... Now, I read this. I wish I could find where I read this, but I can't... I've not taken an image of it. But I read this, that the story and the plot for this movie is essentially going to be that Mr. Negative here uses his negative powers on Bruce Banner and his Professor Hulk, you know, persona. The Hulk that no one likes, the Professor Hulk. And through that, Professor Hulk will turn back to the normal Hulk, you know, the really angry and enraged Hulk, which is great. We all wanted that. But it's going to turn him into Grey Hulk. Because of Mr. Negative's abilities and, you know, the way he changes the colors and everything. He's going to turn Professor Hulk back to normal Hulk, who's then going to turn into Grey Hulk. And the movie's going to essentially be about Peter Parker and Spider-Man and the Punisher teaming up to take down the Hulk, essentially. So that kind of sounds cool, and I don't know if they'll throw Daredevil in there. I won't be surprised if they do throw Daredevil in there. And that does sound cool, but it also sounds like... Wait, what? Like, what's a Hulk doing in a Spider-Man movie? Of all the things that you could do, you're putting a Hulk in a Spider-Man movie. Not only that, but Big Bash said it. I said this earlier as well. Doesn't it remind you a lot of what Captain America Brave New World did, where it was all leading up to a big battle with the Hulk? And based on the rumor I heard, it sounds like they said that that's going to be the big action sequence. And that really sounds a lot like it's just retreading what Brave New World did. It's like saying, yeah, we're going to be setting all of this up, and at the end of the movie, he'll be fighting a Hulk. It sounds like this movie is leading up to one big set piece rather than a story, if you know what I mean. It can end with a set piece, that's fine, but to end it with a big set piece like this, I don't know where the story would be here. Like, what's the arc? And also, why? Because what I liked about the ending of No Way Home is that they finally made Tom Holland's Peter Parker. They transitioned him into becoming like the Peter Parker we all know and love, the Peter Parker who's broke, the Peter Parker who lives in that crappy old apartment, and that's the Peter Parker, and no one knows that he's Spider-Man. That's the Peter Parker that we always wanted to see from Tom Holland, and we finally have gotten it. But now they're giving us this somewhat like Avengers team up. It's like, what we were wondering. Remember, we heard that Marvel wanted this to be a more grounded movie, but Sony wanted it to be a big multiverse type of movie. And it sounds like that's exactly what we're getting. We're getting a big multiverse movie with some grounded elements in there because you got the Punisher in there. So it sounds like that's a compromise, that Marvel and Sony both kind of like came to a compromise is what it ultimately sounds like. So, yeah, it sounds like a lot, doesn't it? It sounds like they've jam-packed this movie with so much to the point that it's like, is this going to be like Brave New World again in terms of like where there was just so much going on? I don't know how they're going to be able to fit this all in, because if the rumors are true and Maguire is going to be in this, because I think they still want Tobey Maguire to be in here, and then we have Sadie Sink, it just sounds like too much. So we need to know more about the movie to know what it will be, to know if it will be too much or not. Or maybe some of the stuff that is rumored turns out not to be true, so maybe it's got less stuff in it. But I don't know, this sounds like they're throwing too much stuff at the wall is what it sounds like. So yeah, I do not know what we're gonna get here. But what do you guys think about this? And are they gonna... On the plus side, we'll get the normal Hulk back, but at the same time, why does this have to be the movie where we get the normal Hulk back? I mean, if they did their job well, could we have gotten the normal Hulk back in the She-Hulk show? Why in a Spider-Man movie? This seems like where we had the question of why is there a red Hulk in a Captain America movie? And now it's the same question, why is there a grey Hulk in a Spider-Man movie? It makes no sense. Make it make sense, guys. Saeed says, this movie sounds AI generated and a soccer event at this point. Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it? Like a big soccer event. Spirit Hero says, no more of the smart Hulk, please. Yeah, it sounds like they're gonna give us the Hulk that we want now. They're gonna go back to it, but this doesn't seem like the right way. It seems like they're using the Spider-Man movie to do that, whereas they should have used something else to do that. Maybe if they brought Hulk into the Captain America Brave New World movie, Bruce Banner in that, because those were his arch enemies and stuff, like, you know, Ross and all that. Maybe they could have done it in that, but no, they haven't. Fireboy says, "Why Hulk's is going to be in the team up movies?" Yeah, I wonder, is he going to be in Doomsday or is he not going to be in Doomsday? And this will transition him into being in Secret Wars. Yeah, I know, Spirit Hero, the Smart Hulk thing. I can't believe that either. Garrett says, "Would you be interested in Spider-Man, Daredevil, Punisher, and the Defenders teaming up to take down Kingpin at some point?" Yeah, that sounds like it would be pretty cool, but they got to do it right, and I don't think Marvel know how to do it right. I mean, have you seen some of the set photos of Daredevil Season 2? One of the recent set photos we saw is that Karen Page looks like she's going to try to be a superhero herself, like a vigilante. And it's like, I've said this before, I said Marvel do not know how to use their side characters. All they know how to do is say, give them a superhero costume and put them out there in the field. If we can't do that, make them a comic relief. If we can't do that, just don't use them. Whereas the Daredevil show perfectly illustrated that you can have side characters that are not superheroes and have them like play a huge impact in the story. Look at what Foggy and Karen did in Daredevil Season 3. But the MCU, it's like they don't know how to handle characters like that. They don't know how to give them that kind of good writing material. So instead, they say, well, how about we just turn them into a superhero instead? Or how about in Foggy's case, we just kill him because we don't know what to do with him? And then we can mask it as this is really important to the story, when really, we just don't know what to do with him. And now Karen, we're going to turn her into a superhero. Or, in their mind, a strong female character. But Karen was already strong without having to go into the field like that. You know, she went into the field using her wits, like when she went to go confront Kingpin in Season 3, and she tried to get him to attack her, so then he could get locked up. That was smart. And there were many other things she did in that third season as well, so they can use her smartly, but you need good writing, and Marvel and these writers, it's like they just don't know. They just don't know how to write smartly. Big Bash says, "I honestly just want a story similar to the first PS4 Spider-Man game. It is the most fitting story." Yeah, imagine if they announced that we're going to get a Dr. Octopus in the next movie. That alone, I think, would have been more interesting rather than all these things they're doing. Because apparently, like I said, Tombstone was also supposed to be in it. So was Scorpion and another character who I can't remember right now. So it sounds like a lot is going on in here. Khan says that's because Kevin Feige refuses to get good writers because he wants control over those movies. But you think it would be in his benefit, though, to want to hire good writers, but he keeps hiring these comedy writers. Like he did with Daredevil originally, until they brought on the Punisher writers. But they didn't bring on the original Daredevil writers. So stupid, seriously. Deadwolf, I agree. He goes, "I'm sick of other Marvel characters in the Spider-Man movies." Yeah, it's like Tom Holland's Spider-Man has never been able to stand on his own. Every single film he's in, it's always got a, they've always got to combine him with a couple of other superheroes and have them join him. It's like he can never have his own movie. Ten Rex says, "It's funny that they don't reuse villains from previous Spider-Verse." Yeah. It's just so weird. I honestly don't know what they're doing down there. Diego, yes, I have seen the Ultimate Edition, but that's not what we're talking about right now. You can ask me that later. Either through Super Chat you can ask me, or you can ask me that in the Q&A session later. We're talking about the Spider-Man story right now. Khan says, "Do they seriously think Tom Holland can't handle the movie by himself? Like, do they seriously think that way?" Probably. I don't know why. It's like they just don't have faith in his movies on their own, which is bizarre because Far From Home, didn't that make $1 billion? But then again, they did have Nick Fury in there, didn't they? But, yeah, I don't know. Saeed says, "Sounds like No Way Home is the end for Spider-Man." It probably... Well, I wasn't even a big fan of that movie. You guys know how much I wasn't really a big fan of that film. You saw my Versus video. Ten Rex says, "I think Sony realized the Spider-Man team-up in No Way Home was a money bag, so that's why this is a team-up too." Yep, that probably could be it. They think that the way they can make that kind of big-level money that they made with the last movie is by throwing in more characters in there, or more Spider-Man like last time. But I don't know. Will that work again? Or will people be wiser to it now? Because if this Fantastic Four movie sucks, that's gonna take people's faith away, and not only that, it'll also take people's faith away for if the Avengers Doomsday movie doesn't perform well. Big Bash says, honestly, for all his faults, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 still had Spider-Man be solo a hero and stand on his own. Yes, it did. Alex says, at least Spidey and Punisher will get to interact. They will, but I don't know. This whole thing feels very messy. It's like there's just so much going on in this one movie. So they will get to talk, but how much will they really get to connect, essentially, before they move on to the next thing? Because they got so much stuff going on in this film. Saeed says, ever since No Way Home, it's a red flag for Marvel to repeat fan service and gimmick trend nonsense. Yeah, fan service is kind of the thing, isn't it? They think they can get a lot of money with that. Electrify says, it's probably a Disney exec with Kevin Feige making these decisions, in my opinion. It probably is, but I feel like Feige at this point, it's like I'm not making any more excuses for the guy. I'm just kind of looking at him and saying, dude, pilot your ship, for crying out loud. Because with this, I get Sony are also in the equation, but his previous movies in the MCU have not been a good example. Are not a good example for him either. So it shows that he is out of touch very much in all of this. Saeed said, I think people are planning for Fantastic Four to fail. That's because the rumours were not so good, and also there are still a lot of people are annoyed that Pedro Pascal is in this movie. That this movie feels like it's playing it safe a lot. So yeah, it's kind of insane. Billy says, I can get behind bloodless carnage for Punisher's victims, as long as the severity is treated at the same level of Renata's death in The Winter Soldier. Do you think that is possible, Eric? I think it is possible for them to really bring in some brutality with the PG-13 rating, not as much as we need, but I think it is possible for them to do something in there, but they're not going to do it. I don't know why. They're very risk-averse when it comes to that. They don't want to get close to the edge of that PG-13 rating. They want to take a couple steps, several steps before it. And that's the issue here. If DC were going to do something like that, I would have faith that they could push it. They've pushed the PG-13 rating many times, but Marvel, they haven't. Particularly Disney Marvel. Electrify has done a $2 super chat, and he says, predict your score for Fantastic Four First Steps. That is a good question. I think Fantastic Four First Steps, I'll probably end up giving it a 5 or a 6 out of 10, is what I think. I think if I have to pick one, probably a low 6 out of 10, I think I might give it. What do you guys think? What do you guys think you're going to give Fantastic Four First Steps? Deadwolf says he's going to give it a 4 out of 4, so that's a 10 out of 10, essentially. Although I'm sure he's joking. Fireboy says 6 out of 10. Khan says I'll probably give Fantastic Four a 5 out of 10 for now if the rumours are true. Big Bash says 4 or 5. Trevor says 5 or 6 out of 10. Goat says, Eric, I tried sleeping but failed. I've been there, buddy. I really have. That's happened to me several times. I Hate Anime says I'll wait until I see it because I'm bad at predicting. Okay, fair enough. Saeed says 6 out of 10. Electrify says 3, probably. Wow, 3. Richard says, I don't know, I'll have to watch it first. That's fair enough. Blizzard says a 5 out of 10. Saeed says a 6 out of 10 because there was interesting stuff in the trailer. I've already talked about how I don't trust Marvel trailers and how they're deceiving. Like, ever since Age of Ultron, I've never trusted a Marvel trailer because I trusted that one, and it was one of the biggest comedies, even though the trailers made it look like a horror movie. Goat says 7 or 8 out of 10. Rohan says 7 out of 10. 10 Rex says I don't know out of 10. I Hate Anime says if I have to guess, then probably a 6 at the lowest. Big Bash says the last truly solo Spider-Man movie was Spider-Man 2, and that was 2004. I disagree. The last solo Spider-Man movie was also The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, and that came out, like in the 2014s and stuff, didn't it? Although Spider-Man 3 was also standalone too. Alex says maybe a 7 out of 10. Saeed says, yeah, Eric, you are right about the exaggerated MCU trailers. Yeah, I know, I never trust them because of that. Spirit Hero says, I think you'll give it either a 5 or a 6 out of 10. Oh, that's interesting. You guys guessing what score I'm going to give it. Alright then, that's a good question. Spirit Hero has brought up a good point. What do you guys think I'm going to give it? I said I think I'm going to give it a low 6 out of 10, but what do you guys think? Richard says, I would give Brave New World a 5.5 out of 10 and Thunderbolts an 8 out of 10. Interesting. Electrify says he thinks I'm going to give it a 5. Big Bash thinks I'm going to give it a 5. 10 Rex says, do you think they will ruin the Punisher? And say that I say that because they ruined a dark character before, aka Daredevil. I think they know now they can't, but then again with Fantastic Four, they know they can't do certain stuff, but they're doing it anyway, so who knows, maybe they could with Marvel. Anything is possible. I think it's more possible for them to screw stuff up than get stuff right now, which is kind of sad that that's where we are at. I Hate Animators thinks that I'm going to give it a 4 to a 5. Deadwolf says 4 or a 7. Wow, that's interesting. Quite a difference there. Below average 4 to a good 7. Electrify says, I'm more harsher to the MCU because they are doing the same problems they're doing with the Fantastic Four, one of their popular IPs, but yet they are treating it like they don't care. Yeah, I know, I'm going to be kind of harsh towards it too if it makes all the same mistakes. And if the ending will just be a very quick wrap up and it's like, yeah, we're not going to do a high stakes thing. If they do that, I'm going to be disappointed. It's bizarre what's happening to the colour on here. Like when I go like this, it goes lighter. When I go back on my screen, it goes more orange. That's weird, so I'll just go up close like this. I Hate Anime says, this franchise keeps having a good movie then a bad movie. Well, lately they've been just having bad movies. Thunderbolts was better, but look at the ones prior to that. They were just having bad movie after bad movie. Alex says, at least the trailers are hiding Galactus. Yeah, that's good, but how much do you think he's even in the movie? But I've heard people say, the test screeners, of all the bad stuff that I've heard, they have said that Galactus is terrifying, so that's cool. I hope they get his scale right. Diego says, do you think the Amazing Spider-Man 2 planning the Sinister Six universe would have been a good franchise? No, it wouldn't have. No, not with Sony. There's actually some rumors, and like, not rumors, but like, I think some script leaks for the Amazing Spider-Man 3 with the Sinister Six in them, and it is atrocious. Just read it for yourself and you'll see. Alright. Let's move on to the next story, because I think we are all done on this. Okay. Alright, now, this dude right here is a man called Jake Schreier, and he directed the Thunderbolts movie recently, and rumors are that Marvel want to hire him to direct their X-Men movie that they're going to do. But the interesting thing is that Thunderbolts did not do well at the box office. In fact, it has flopped at the box office. It has majorly flopped at the box office. So that shows that, I don't know if it's his fault or if it's Marvel's fault or what, because, you know, they're very hands-on with these projects. But basically, I don't think he's a good choice after directing Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts was a better movie than the other MCU films, but I still don't think it was that great. I think it was just okay, in my opinion. Maybe slightly above okay, but not that great. And I feel like if I watch it again, I'm going to like it less. And the movie did not do well at all at the box office. People say the box office doesn't matter. It does matter. Hollywood is going to look at that. If they find out that they do not do a good job at the box office, they're going to look for someone else that did do a good job at the box office. That's just how Hollywood looks at things. Now, I don't think he did as good enough a job for the Thunderbolts to come in and direct an X-Men movie. That's what I think. And people are saying that it's been announced that he is going to be hired to direct X-Men. based off of this article. And no, I'm gonna tell you right now, that's not happening. It could happen, but this article, nothing has been officially announced. If it was officially announced, every other trade out there would all have announced it, and they would have put it in the headline. But look at that. Look at the headline for this article. Marvel adds possible fourth movie to 2028 slate. What kind of an announcement is that? That tells me they don't know for sure. All that tells me, apparently, is there's something hidden in like the article where it talks about that he's in talks or he's being considered. But he's not been confirmed. If it was confirmed, I'm telling you, it would be in the headline right there. But the fact it isn't means nothing has been confirmed. So it's not confirmed. He's not directing the movie, as of yet, at least. Big Bass says Blade is what they said for 2028. Yeah, we know that Blade movie's never going to get made. It's in movie hell at this point. Goat said should be Bryan Singer. Well, Bryan Singer has been known for some less than appropriate things in Hollywood. Let's just say. So they're not going to bring him back. James Wan would have been a better choice. I think so. I don't know if he would do a good job with that. You need someone who can actually bring out. The thing is, I like what Fox did with their X-Men, and I feel like Marvel are going to try to go more for what the cartoon did, but a lot of their movies are already going for that, so I feel like it'll feel more of the same, unfortunately. Sam Raimi says Big Bash. Honestly, I don't know what director could do a good job, because you got to keep in mind they're going to be hired under Marvel, and Marvel are going to control them, and they're going to control them and try to get them to do whatever Marvel wants them to do, and you just can't trust Marvel. So it's hard to say who will do good. Dead Wolf says Phil Lord and Chris Miller should do X-Men. I'd say yes, but they also lean more into the comedy side of things, and X-Men needs to be more mature. Remember, X-Men, when it came out in the comics, was meant to be more for the teenage audience. So Marvel cannot go ahead and start making this kiddie or make this overly fun. They gotta add some edge to it. They really do. So I don't know. I feel like Marvel just need to change the way that they operate, because I'm trying to think of good directors, but even when I think of good directors, I'm thinking, well, look what's going to happen. They could end up coming in, and they could start taking control of the project, and it would be no good in the end. So, it's really hard to find out how to get any good products out of Marvel right now. They're just not in a good headspace, is what it feels like. Electrifies in a $5 super chat and says, I'm calling it right now that Avengers Doomsday will cost $1 billion. It's already said, isn't it, that both Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars will cost over $1 billion or something? Or was it just the first movie that will cost around $700 million, or was it near $1 billion, close to $1 billion? So yeah, it needs to make like $2 billion to break even or something. That's the rumors I've heard. I don't know if they're really doing that, because I've also heard that apparently they don't have a complete script, and they're still shooting scenes for Doomsday. It's ridiculous what they've got going on down there. I heard James Gunn recently say that the reason a lot of Hollywood movies are failing is because they're filming them without complete scripts. And I didn't know a lot of Hollywood was doing that. I thought it was just Marvel. But yeah, it's just a ridiculous thing. You'd think this would be a no-brainer. Do not make a movie without a finished script. I mean, people are giving Matt Reeves a hard time, but at least he's trying to come up with a complete script. So, the Russos are not. And I'm guessing that's really because Marvel are just telling him, just get it out quick. Crazy Karen's running Marvel, says Saeed. Yeah, that doesn't sound very far off. That doesn't. So yeah, it's just silly Marvel, seriously. It's like if they just took their time with these scripts and made sure they got a solid foundation, they could make probably a good movie out of it. Out of several of their recent movies and shows, but they've just been rushing it. So much so that we just kept on hearing about reshoots and everything with Marvel. It's just insane. They really are. They really are just... They should be used to it by now, but it seems like they're just making all the worst mistakes they could possibly make. Big Bat says it's a recipe for disaster if you don't have a finished and good script. Exactly. And James Gunn has said that they're not going through with anything unless they have a complete script. So props to James Gunn for at least saying we're going to have a complete script. Because a lot of them are not doing that. Marvel in particular. And you'd think Marvel would have learned their lesson by now, because that's been One of the things that is failing them is that they do not have complete scripts that they're happy with. Kevin says films. Films I love are Godzilla vs. Kong, Bill and Ted 3, Rocky 6, Star Wars Episode 3, Terminator 3, Men in Black, 3:10 to Yuma, The Shallows, Dawn of the Dead, 2004, the 2004 Dawn of the Dead, and Man of Steel. Yours? I like Godzilla, King of the Monsters. I also have not seen Bill and Ted. I like Rocky 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I also enjoyed 5. I also like the Creed 1 and 2 movies. I also do like The Shallows, that's really good. Dawn of the Dead, I like Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I also like Rise of the Planet of the Apes, War for the Planet of the Apes, and I do like Dawn of the Dead 2004. Man of Steel is okay to me, like average. I'm average on it, but I can see why people would love it and why people would hate it. And I also like the Batman Begins, the Dark Knight Rises. You know, Batman Begins in particular because it's the 20th anniversary for that movie this month. So, yeah. But I love the Dark Knight. That's my favorite one. So yeah, those are some of my favorite movies out there, bud. Thanks for Kevin for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Electrify says, heck, I have a finished script and I'm not even in Hollywood. Yeah. In fact, my brother is writing a horror novel and he also has planned all these books before he's planning to make more books, and he's planned them all out before he started writing them. But Hollywood, not only look what they're doing with Marvel, but look at what they're doing with Star Wars, The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker. They should have all sat in a room and got their stories straight with those 3 movies, but they didn't do that. They were making them one at a time, and look at what mess they ended up with. So yeah, it's just ridiculous. Wes Craven would have made a great X-Men film if he was with us, says Dead Wolf. That actually doesn't sound too bad. That sounds almost like fun to see if he could have done that. Big Bash says, imagine if they made the Fantastic Four and X-Men earlier instead of the multiverse. Yeah, that would have been a better choice to go down. Or maybe Secret Invasion. They could have done Secret Invasion better and, like, you know, built that up to an Avengers movie versus what they actually ended up doing. Yeah, it's just insane. Silly. Khan says they apparently had a blueprint from George Lucas himself about what he wants the next sequels to be and what they should do with it, but Disney threw it out the window and made their own, and that turned out, yeah, that's the thing. George Lucas sold them Lucasfilm with the intention that they would make the movies that he basically said, but they just said, they said to him, yeah, we'll make those movies, and then they says, yeah, we're not gonna make it after they bought the company. They said we're going to make our own instead. So George Lucas felt betrayed by that. And Bob Iger said that in his book. Because it's like, well, we didn't write it in the contract. So that wasn't in the contract. So yeah, we don't have to do it. And well, look how that turned out for them. Ten Rex says, does the MCU need a restart like DC? I don't think it needs a restart, but I think they really need to clear the board. And that's what they're going to probably try to do with Doomsday and Secret Wars. So the Russos are going to show that, look, we're being brave, we're killing off all these characters. But no, them killing off the characters is actually the easy choice, because that's really what they need to do right now, is get rid of a bunch of the characters, because there's just too much to keep track of. Saeed said, I had a discussion with someone that Thunderbolts flopped, and they said box office don't matter, and Lilo and Stitch made money. Box office does matter, and Thunderbolts flopping, that's a problem to them. They're not looking at that as a victory. That's kind of an embarrassment for them, that it couldn't even make 400 million. So, Marvel are really in a tough spot. Big Bash says, Clone Wars the last Star Wars project George Lucas worked on? Yes, it is. And it goes to show that George Lucas might not be a great ideas, like, he might not be great at executing all these stuff, but he's very good at his ideas, and if he has a writer's room of people there that can, you know, help steer his ideas, they can do something really special. George Lucas is a great ideas man. Billy says, a little out of subject, but speaking of unfinished projects, Eric, do you have an opinion on George R.R. Martin stating he won't finish the Game of Thrones saga? I don't really, because I don't read or watch Game of Thrones, and I'm definitely not going to now that the show ended in such a terrible way. But I can imagine that a lot of people will be disappointed that he's not going to finish the book at this point, but I don't think he's going to. I think he's clearly done with it. He's lost that spark, that writer's spark in him, which has happened to me. Look at some of the Versus videos I've stopped, didn't fully make. And then I moved on to other ones. It's just something that happens sometimes. Khan says, I legitimately forgot about Ironheart until you mentioned it, Fireboy. No, seriously. Oh, yeah, Ironheart is coming out in the 27th of June. Saeed says, I do hope Superman does well so that Marvel can make quality movies again, because if Superman flops, then Fantastic Four flops. Yep. Well, I disagree with that, actually. No. If Superman succeeds but Fantastic Four flops, that's actually going to show that Marvel have got a quality control problem. Because Superman, first of all, not you got to keep in mind, Superman's actually a well-known character. Whereas Marvel have been making like the Thunderbolts and the Marvels and a lot of movies where people are like, I don't know who these characters are. So they're not going to want to go to the theater and take time out of their day to go and travel to a theater, then pay money to watch those characters on the big screen. They're going to pay that kind of money to pay for movies with characters that they want to see, and Batman is one of them. Superman is one of them. The Fantastic Four, I don't know if that really is one of them anymore, because if Marvel still had a great reputation like they did back in the day, then people would have gone in droves to see it. But now people are looking at it like, well, Fantastic Four didn't work the first time, it didn't work the second time, it didn't work the third time, and now they're trying to do it again, and we don't think it's going to work this time because Marvel have lost their touch. So I think that's what will potentially happen. A lot of people say if we watch it, we can just watch it when it comes out on streaming, but we don't need to rush out to see it. Superman, however, there is a lot of hype behind it. And of the three movies, Jurassic World Rebirth, Superman, and Fantastic Four First Steps, everyone seems to be talking a lot more about Superman. In terms of what the marketing that I'm seeing, Superman's marketing really comes up. But the other marketing, marketing for the other movies, it doesn't really show up. So I think that says it all, really. That the marketing push that we're really seeing and that's really working and connecting with audiences is Superman, not the other two. So yeah, but basically my point is this guy is not going to be directing X-Men. I'm not saying he won't, but he's not directing X-Men based on the article that came out. This article does not prove anything that he's been assigned the directing gig. He hasn't. They're still looking for someone. So yeah. All right. Next story. The DCU's Clayface movie has now found a new, as you can see, a new actor. The actor that's going to play him is Tom Reese. Tom Reese? I'll just say Tom Harris. Harris? It's not Harris, it's Harris, I think. That's weird. Okay, yeah. So yeah, this guy's basically coming and he's going to be he's going to be playing Clayface in the upcoming movie. And from what I've heard, James Gunn did an interview with DC podcasts. And on the DC podcast recently, he said that the movie's going to be rated R, it's going to be a horror movie, and it'll have body horror. And he also said that the movie will be about deep fakes, and that will be part of the commentary of what Clayface can do. In modern day, with all these deep fakes, you can have Clayface like mold his face and everything in that way, and they can incorporate that kind of commentary which is very relevant for today. So they'll apply some of that in, and I think that sounds really interesting and cool. So I think I don't know, I've not seen this guy and stuff, but he does have a bit of a weird look to him. Like, you could imagine with some practical effects or special effects, they can shift his face around and make it look more plasticky or like clay and stuff. So I think that's kind of interesting. So yeah, the only thing that is bizarre to me is that they're making this movie and it's meant to be based in the DCU, so it's not in the Matt Reeves Batman world. But for some reason, Matt Reeves is producing this film, which makes it very confusing, even though this is supposed to be in James Gunn's DCU and Matt Reeves' Batman is in a separate universe. So that's confusing. You'd think at first that this was going to be based in Matt Reeves' universe because they're doing spin-offs of villains in the Matt Reeves universe, but no, it's not in Matt Reeves' universe. And then on top of that, as well as Matt Reeves producing it, this is meant to be in the DCU universe for whatever Batman James Gunn is going to do. But the confusing thing about that is that why are they starting out with Batman's villains and not Batman? You know, it's very weird. It really is. It's bizarre that they're making spin-off movies for Batman without Batman. It's almost like what Sony are doing with the spin-off villain movies, except I'm sure this is going to be far better than that, because DC know their villains have to be villains and Marvel don't seem to know that. So I'm sure the movie's going to be better, but the strategy does come across like Sony's, and it's bizarre. Spirit Hero, I've never seen this actor in anything either. I think there was a school movie that he was in, but I saw that years ago. I didn't like it, and I don't even remember which of those people he was. So, yeah, I don't know if this is going to be a good movie or not. I hope it's good, but I have zero clue in that regard. So, yeah. Khan says, how good is this actor, Eric? Has he been in any other shows or movies before? He has been, but I've not really seen any of them. So, I can't comment on it if he's going to be any good or not. Have any of you guys seen him in anything? No, Spirit Hero, there has never been a live-action Clayface before. Tenrex has not seen him in anything, so neither has Big Bash, neither has Fireboy. And judging by the looks of it, looks like no one else has seen him in stuff either, because no one is saying yes. So, nope, said Rohan. No, said Saeed. Blizzard's, hang on. Goat said, I'm excited for the movie. Yeah, I'm excited for the movie too. Blizzard asked me that question during the Q&A, not right now. Saeed says, but if Superman does well, then Flatface movie can. Well, we'll have to see. Because Clayface is a spin-off Batman movie, Batman villain without Batman. A spin-off Batman movie without Batman. Now they're going to... And Superman is like, you know, he's actually got Superman in there, he's got Lex Luthor in there, Lois Lane, like it's the proper superhero package. But yeah, Ron Perlman is the best Clayface as Big Bash. I think he is the best Slade from Teen Titans. Blizzard's not seen him in anything either. Batman might make a cameo in Clayface. Since when is Batman supposed to make a cameo in these movies? That would be cheap, I think, if they did that. So yeah, that's basically it. They've cast this dude. We'll have to wait to see the movie next year in 2026. And the person that's going to be directing it is the person that made that movie with James McAvoy. What was it called again? See No Evil, was it? See No Evil. Speak No Evil. There you go. James Watkins, who directed that. The Speak No Evil film. He's the one that's going to be directing this movie. So yeah, here's hoping it's good. Hope the CGI in Clayface is amazing. I've heard it's going to be practical effects and stuff, so that could be fun, like some true body horror stuff. Goat says, why is it coming out on 9/11? Yeah, I know, that's not a good marketing pitch, isn't it? Did you like that movie, Eric? Which movie, Spirit Hero? Movie King, I like body horror as well. Oh, Speak No Evil. Yeah, I did like the movie. It was fun. I liked it better than the movie it was actually based on. That one was just freaking sick. That was. So yeah, I do like the movie a lot. Well, not a lot, but I had fun with it a lot. The movie itself, it was good. Khan says the Clayface movie has potential as long as they don't screw it up. Yep, he was hoping. Venom 2.0, a man with slime powers. No, I don't think so. There's a lot more to it than that. And they're not going to make him a comedic anti-hero. It's going to be a horror film. Eric, which Batman actor do you think come closest to Kevin Conroy's Batman, says Big Bash? Probably Christian Bale, maybe, I think. Or, I don't know. I feel like they're all doing such different things. It's hard to say which one came closest. Probably the one that did come closest, though, was the guy that did the voice for Arkham Origins Batman, because he was trying to mimic him, so him probably came the closest. But yeah, so... He also directed the Woman in Black remake with Daniel Radcliffe. Oh yeah, that was a fun one. So, yeah, here's hoping he does good. Also, Sai says he's going to go, Eric. No problem, Sai. Thank you for joining the stream. Take care, buddy. But there was also... Venom also, by the way, was a comedy, whereas This is going to be a horror film, which I like, by the way. Venom should have been a horror film, the first one, but it wasn't. Yeah, Big Bash, that was it. Roger Craig Smith, who did the voice for Batman in Arkham Origins. Yeah, he was very good. As a younger Kevin Conroy. Blizzard said it's like The Thing. Yeah, it could be like The Thing, yeah. Okay, what we're going to do now, guys, is we're going to do a 10-minute Q&A session. Fireboy says he's got to go. Okay, take care, buddy. Thanks for joining the stream. But yeah, we're going to do a 10-minute Q&A session, and then we're going to call it a day. Do you think we'll get a Superman teaser at the end of the year? Said Goat. We might do. Adam Grundy says, what are your thoughts on them changing Superman's title from Woman of Tomorrow to just Supergirl? I like that they did that. I thought I like that James Gunn changed the title for Superman Legacy as well. I think they're just trying to, sometimes less is more. I like the simplicity of just Superman. Superman Legacy, it sounds like when you attach a subtitle to a movie, it sounds like it's the sequel. Even though this is the first movie, it sounds like they're just fast-tracking. There's something about it that way. So I like how the first movie is just called the name of the movie. The same with Supergirl. Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow sounds again like a sequel. Like in the second movie, like in the first movie she has to be established. So when you see her in the second movie, it's like then she'll be Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. So then you can use that name. And the same with like when Nolan did Batman. He did Batman Begins, and by the end of the movie, Batman had begun. And then he did The Dark Knight, and by the end of the movie, Batman had elevated himself and become the Dark Knight. That was the last thing said in the movie, and the title just hit the screen and showed that, yeah, now he's the Dark Knight. So the same with these others, you know, it's like if you want to call your Superman movie Man of Steel, that should be the second film, I think. Or if you want to call Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, then that should be the subtitle for the second film. So I like that they're just calling it Supergirl. Adam Grundy says he hopes they do the same for Lanterns, and he says Supergirl's title being changed is almost them saying the shitty 80s film isn't the definitive movie anymore. Yeah, there's that too. That could be a nice little bonus, isn't it? So yeah, there's so I don't mind it. I like the name change personally. Oh, look at that! There's 7 of you that have signed up for the Discord now in total. That's nice. I'm glad you guys are gonna enjoy the Discord. We'll have a lot to talk about, especially with summer movie season coming. We'll be able to talk about live with voice chats and text and video chats. We can talk about Jurassic World Rebirth. We could talk about Superman. We could talk about Fantastic Four First Steps. We can even talk about Squid Games coming out this week. There's a lot to talk about, which we'll be all chatting about with Discord. And then with all the stuff coming out later in the year as well, we can have a lot to chat about. I Hate Anime says, can't wait to join voice channels. Yep, that would be interesting. I'll get to actually see you guys for the first time as well. And hear you. Khan says, oh, what is your video about, if you don't mind me asking? What do you mean, what video? Adam says, I'll sign up when I have more money, lol. It's why I haven't sent super chats lately. Don't worry about it. You've done a lot of supporting. Adam Grunther, I've always remembered that you've supported me for a very long time. So don't worry about it. It's fine. Whenever you feel comfortable, then you can join. But yeah, I'm glad you are aware that at least. I'll have to do a post on Patreon. I still haven't done a post for all the Patreon members to see, so I'll have to do that. Khan was talking to the Dark Lord, Eric. Big Butt says, Eric, what would you do if Mr. Poe showed up in your room right now to offer you a bank loan? I would yell, get out, get out, get out, and then I would take this bottle and bump him on the head with it. Like, just hit him over the head with it. And then I'd drag his body into a very bad neighborhood and just let them have whatever they want with him. Movie King says, who's your favorite voice actor, Eric? Kevin Conroy. Khan says, that sounds great, Dark Lord Eric. Can't wait to see you. I'll try to support you there. Are you talking about Discord, Khan? Are you talking about? Would you like to eventually see Connor Kent in the Superman saga? No, I don't want to see any of the kids. Just keep it simple. Superman, Lois, and then let them interact with other Justice League members eventually. You don't have to bring the kids in. You only bring the kids in once you've had like a whole generation of movies with these characters. You don't bring the kids in until way later. Oh, Connor's talking to the Dark Lord. Oh, right, sorry. Oh, okay, I wasn't aware. Okay. Okay. The title, The Fantastic Four First Steps, sounds stupid. I think it's called First Steps because of the baby in there. I think the title is really building up the baby when you think about it, because the baby is going to be born in the movie, as we've already seen, and I'm sure it'll have some superpowers or something. And that's what I think they mean when they say First Steps, is that it's going to have superpowers which will play a part in the movie. I Hate Anime said, just notice we can hear your Discord notifications. Yeah, you probably can. I think the baby will save the MCU, says Saeed. You're not far off from what I've heard of the leaks. It's two women and a baby that saved the world. I don't know what the other three guys are doing. Yeah, Electrify, you really do learn something new every day. Hollywood apparently are filming movies without complete scripts. Big Bash, it really is. Kevin Conroy did have dedication. 30 years of recording voices for Batman. G-Gamer, I don't know who I would cast as James Gunn's Batman. It's hard to make a decision like that. Matthew, I've not seen Banshee. People are chatting in the Discord already, which is funny. In the latest movie part of the Discord, G-Gamer is talking about Elio. I like how you guys are already in the Discord, like going to the right category to talk about new movies related stuff. That's good. Have you seen the new 28 Years Later yet? If so, what are your thoughts? I've not seen it, and I've not seen any of the 28 Year Later movies. And then I've heard all the bad reviews for this new one, so I'm in no rush. I'll try to watch... Probably I'll put it as a Let's Watch on Patreon or something. I'll try to watch those movies the first time and record my reaction there. Spirit Hero says, Eric, what is a low-budget horror movie you've seen that's actually good? Low-budget horror movie. A lot of horror movies are low-budget. I liked Scream. I love Scream. That's a low-budget horror movie. They're slashers, aren't they? So they are technically cheap. So yeah, I love the slasher genre like that. I liked Elio, obviously it's no masterpiece, but I feel like people are underselling it. I just came from watching it. Upgrade, I don't think counts I Hate Anime. That's more of a sci-fi action movie. A thriller, you could say. Big Bash says, Eric, what do you think of Metachlorians, and does it ruin the Force in your opinion? Not really. I never got angry over it. And in the Clone Wars, I think they talk about it some more, and they actually made it sound kind of cool. I was like, huh, bizarre, but that kind of is interesting. Was it in Clone Wars, or was it in Bad Batch? I can't remember. Spirit Hero says, I heard that the first Saw had a pretty low budget, and it turned out to be amazing. Yeah, the first Saw did have an incredibly low budget. What do you think is the best Arkham games as Blizzard? Arkham City, without a doubt. Arkham City.
Big Bash says, Eric, what is your favorite line from the prequels? Oh, there's a lot of lines. There are funny lines, there are some quotable lines, there are some iconic lines. Oh, there's a lot in there. I'll just say, what was... I'll say this one when Jar Jar says spec, and then Liam Neeson, Qui-Gon says the ability to speak does not make you intelligent. I really like that line. That was funny. Electrify has done a $2 super chat, and he says, "Do you think Star Wars could recover?" I think it can, but I don't think it'll be easy. And they gotta have a very good streak. And they gotta make it special. Go, what does that mean when you say, Eric, will you ever get a low taper fade? What does that mean? Big Bash, I was thinking the same thing. Obi-Wan saying hello there, but I was thinking of something a bit more... something that was a bit more interesting, because that's quite obvious. So I said a different one. Matthew Club says, Eric, I have seen many of your live chats. I haven't seen many of your live chats in a while. What are your future video ideas? Well, right now I'm working on Lilo and Stitch versus the animated versus the remake. Then I'm also working simultaneously on How to Train Your Dragon, one versus the first movie versus the remake. And then I'm also going to be planning on doing some Superman versus videos too for when the movie comes out. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm actually got planned, which is fun. And look at that, I've got a $5 super chat from Super Michael. Thank you very much, Super Michael. I really appreciate the super chats. You guys have been very generous today. Super Michael, I'm not sure if you're interested, but I'll let you know that I've said that I've got a Discord going on my Patreon right now. If you do that, if you subscribe to that Patreon perk, you'll get access to my Discord, where we can all talk to each other as groups via voice chat, video chat, and we can also type in certain discussions when new movies and shows come out. So if you're interested, that will be a really very worthwhile perk right there. You could probably already hear people in the Discord already chatting right now. About a few people have already signed up for it. So Super Michael says, just saw How to Train Your Dragon remake. I give it a high 7 out of 10. Oh, that's good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I've already seen it, and I'm writing my versus video already. I was even writing it today. What was it? Thanks to Michael for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate that. Matthew Club says, Eric, have you ever thought of hiring editors? Yeah, I already have hired one editor. But that's because it was one of my YouTubers, the Time Shadow. He's one of my editors. Whenever I need something edited, I give it to him. But so far I've been on top of everything. But I do want to give him some more stuff. Eric, do you think I hate send is a good pickup line? I do not know. What was the other question I was going to read that someone asked me? Oh, Spirit Hero says, I have to go now. I will hopefully see you all next week. Yeah, take care, Spirit Hero. Thank you for joining the stream. We're going to be ending it soon, so thank you very much. You guys really are already chatting in the Discord right now, which is funny, during the live stream. But that's good. That's fun to be had in the Discord right there. Eric, did you know the voice of General Grievous was the sound editor on the prequels? Oh, really? I didn't know that. That's very interesting. Super Michael has done another $2 donation. Says, so how goes the Twilight of the Gods review? It's going good. I've not seen the whole show, but I've gone through segments. Sorry, not segments. I've gone through the people that have commissioned reviews from me, and I've got yours lined up. Once I've gone through those few, I'm going to get right through to yours, and then that one will be in there. So right now I'm focusing on some of the others, and then I'll get to yours. Also, we got crazy summer movie season, which is taking up a lot of my time. The monkey review is still happening, don't worry. Like I said, it's just crazy summer movie time right now. And you've seen the amount of versus videos I've done, so I'm I'm on point with everything. Also, I got to do that review for the projector. That's also taking time. And I've written a contract for that, so I've got to get that out by the deadline that they've asked for. So, yeah. Matthew Club says, Eric, what were your thoughts on The Boys Season 4? Is that the most recent season? Because if it was the most recent season, wasn't a fan. I thought, The Boys Season 1, 2, and 3, they all had really interesting characters. Season 1, you had Homelander. Season 2, you had, that Nazi. What was her name? I can't remember her name. What was her name in Season 2? Stormfront, that was it. And in Season 3, you had Soldier Boy. And in Season 4, you didn't really have anyone in Season 4. You had that girl that was super intelligent, that black woman. But I was like, she is not as interesting as the other three that we got in the season. So, and also it felt like they were just padding the story out. And I didn't like what happened with Kimiko at the end. The thing that they make her do, I was like, that felt very weird the way it was done. And her friend, Frenchie, he annoyed the shit out of me in that season. It was so freaking annoying what was going on there. Like, seriously. I was like, they've got nothing for this character. But yeah, he bothered the shit out of me. And I was like, at that point, I was like, just kill him. Just kill him. He's got nothing to do at this point. So I did not like him either. Big Bash says, Eric, did you know The Force Unleashed 3 almost happened, but Disney cancelled it? I feel like I did. If I didn't, it was a while ago. Yeah, not only that, Khan, but it also felt like it was out of nowhere. Like, where the hell did that subplot come from with Frenchie? They never built up to any of it, and given the time, what's going on, how, you know, with the Homelander and everything, how things are so dire, he's dealing with this emotional subplot, which I was like, this feels like a filler subplot when things are getting really dangerous now. It's like, Frenchie, really get your shit together. It was bloody irritating, that was. Seriously, it was. Take care, Matthew Club. Thanks for joining the stream. I appreciate it. Rex, what's the worst movie Mark Hamill's been in? I have not seen him in too many movies. I don't know what the worst movie he's been in is. I don't know. I've not seen him in much stuff. Oh, that's great, Dark Lord. He's about to release his first video. Well, good luck with it. Yeah, I hate anime. That relationship did have no reason to be there. It felt like they didn't know what to do with him, so they just gave him some bullshit subplot. Thanks, Matthew Club. Take care, bud. Cool. Everyone, if you want to see Dark Lord's video, you can. He's going to upload a new video after this stream. Make sure to link it in the video if you can, Dark Lord. Yep, that's Khan said that. So you can go ahead and do that. Yeah, Homelander was still Homelander. He was still fun, Homelander was to watch in that season. He was a lot of fun, as always. Yeah, Big Bash, I was aware that Tim Curry was originally going to voice Joker in the animated series, but apparently he was too scary. But there's voice footage of him out there. He wasn't that scary to me, but Mark Hamill definitely did the better job. Which brand has the better games right now, says Rohan? DC or Marvel? I'd say Marvel. Even though I was disappointed with the Spider-Man 2 game. And there's no DLC that came out for it. It really is quite ridiculous. The G Gamer says, how would you describe a 2 out of 10 movie and a 9 out of 10 movie? A 9 out of 10 movie is a film that's near perfection. Like, I've got some problems which held it back. But a 2 out of 10 movie is a film that is so bad, but it might have one small redeeming thing about it, or one big redeeming thing, but it's not big enough to make my score go up more than 1, and that's what a 2 would be. Big Vash says, which underrated superhero do you think should get their own game? Well, I'd probably say Blade, maybe? And he's getting a game, so that's going to work out. Rex, I don't know what my spirit animal would be. I have never thought about it. Electrify says, Marvel have better games but bad movies. The thing is, DC had great games with the Arkham series, and look what they did with that, how they screwed that up. Deadwolves has got to get going now. See you next week. No problem, buddy. Take care. Thanks for joining the stream. Big Bash, I'd love a Teen Titans game. There was a Teen Titans game based on the original show, but it wasn't all that great. I wanted to play it so much as a kid, but we only played the Game Boy Advance version with emulation. However, there is the GameCube one, which I emulated on the Steam Deck, on the original Steam Deck that I had, the LCD one. And I played some of it, and I was like, this is not that great, so I put it away. I stopped playing it. Thoughts on Jedi Fallen Order? I really enjoyed Jedi Fallen Order, Big Bash. The problem is that there was just so much backtracking, and it felt like a maze a lot of times. That was not fun. I hear they made it better in Jedi Survivor, but I've not played Jedi Survivor because it's been very poorly optimized for just PCs in general, and it does not look like it runs on the Steam Deck in a way that I would want to play it. So in the future, maybe when it's dirt cheap or something, and when we have the Steam Deck 2 or something, I'll give it a go. But yeah, I can't play it right now. Favorite video game franchise said 10 Rex, the Batman Arkham series, minus Suicide Squad killed the Justice League, that piece of garbage. Just ignore that, pretend it didn't even exist. Okay, we'll actually end the stream in 6 minutes now, because then we'll just round it up to 2 hours and just end it then. Big Bash that says the 9th Sister boss fight had me rage quit so many times that I lost like 1 million times. Yeah, I can't even remember what my playthrough of that was like, but I remember my energy was very, very low, and then I just managed to beat her, so that was good. The Cybernetic Hunter says X-Men might release in December 15, 2028. Huh, that's interesting. Rohan says, what were Marvel genuinely thinking by releasing 2 Avengers movies in the same year? I don't know, they were just trying to get these movies out quick. It was like 6 months apart, weren't they? That's not good, that isn't. It's like, I don't know what they were thinking with that. But then they said they're going to have it a year apart, then 2 years apart, so yeah, we'll see what they do. I think it's going to be a year apart now. My throat is getting sore. Least favorite bad movie. I don't have a favorite bad movie in general. I did like the first Ghost Rider. That to me is kind of like my guilty pleasure film. So if that's what you're asking, that's one I like. 10 Rex. But yeah, Big Bash Jedi Fallen Order was a good game, but man, I did not like the backtracking in that. I thought they could have done that a lot better. They could have helped tell you where to go a lot better. And they could have skipped the backtracking like most normal games do, but for some reason this one, it felt like they were trying to pad its runtime out by having you backtrack a bunch, and that was not fun. Goat says his guilty pleasure is Justice League 2017. That's interesting. It's approaching, wow, it's 2:33 a.m. in the morning right now. 10 Rex says, how long did it take for that beard to grow? I don't know. When did I get a haircut? It was 3 weeks ago, maybe? Unless time flows by and it's been even longer. I don't know. What, do you guys like this beard? I Hate Anime says, I have nothing to do on Monday. I've got a lot to do on Monday. I've got a lot of work to catch up on. In fact, I'm going to do some work after this stream is over. I'm going to do a bit more editing and things, you know, and a bit more script writing for that projector review. Big Bash says, I had a beard, but I'm sporting a goatee now. Yeah, I like the shape that the beard tends to grow in over time on my face. No sleep? I will sleep at some point, but because it's summer, it gets very hot during the day, I have to readjust my working hours, and I can get more work done during the night times because it's not so hot in this attic room. So, yeah. Oh, it's your mum's birthday tomorrow, Big Bash. Well, happy birthday to her. What's sleeping, says Goat. Big Bash says, what did you do for your 30th birthday, Eric? That's a very good question. I just chilled for that day. I tried not to do really any work. I went out, had some nice food. My folks made really nice food. I always wanted them to make chicken drumsticks, well, not chicken drumsticks, but just fried chicken with breadcrumbs on it, because I wanted that ever since I was a kid. And they did make it. That was very nice. I had a birthday card, which you can probably barely just see right over there above the Steam Deck, the case for the Steam Deck. So yeah, I got a birthday card. That was nice. Got some money, which was also nice. It's nice when they do that kind of stuff. And I played Transformers War for Cybertron on my Steam Deck. I did that a lot. I had a lot of fun with that. And I think I watched a couple stuff, and yeah, that was basically it. Had a very good time. It was a good day. Good day on that birthday. It didn't make me feel so bad for turning 30. It didn't, so that's good. I think I might have done a touch bit of work on YouTube, you know, and I did a bit of work. I think I definitely did some work on the projector sponsorship, because I had to get that done within a certain time period. So yeah. Big Bash says, who do you hate more, Mr. Poe or Aquafina? I'll say Mr. Poe, because his actions led to devastating consequences. Aquafina is just annoying. And Aquafina, I see her for one movie or something, but Mr. Poe had to sit through him for 3 seasons. It was insane. Goat, I think that question is kind of obvious right there. It's obviously Mr. Poe, isn't it? G-Gamer says, question about Mr. Poe. Oh, question. Who's Mr. Poe? I'm confused. G-Gamer, watch my versus videos. My versus video for Lemony Snicket versus a series of unfortunate events. Then watch my Let's Binge Watch a series of unfortunate events season 2. Then watch my Let's Binge Watch a series of unfortunate events season 3. You'll know everything about that, because Mr. Poe is like... People know I can't stand Mr. Poe, and those videos are the reasons why. I kind of go through a journey of hating Mr. Poe, and you'll see. G-Gamer goes, okay, I forgot, because it's been a long time since I saw the Versus video. Yeah, but it's also the Let's Binge Watch videos. That's kind of where my whole Mr. Poe thing really took off, and people still bring it up to me to this day. They do. What would Iris Tombstone say in Final Destination 6, killed by a flying pipe? I don't know what she would say, but she was clearly speechless when it happened, wasn't she? Alright guys, it's like 1 minute over 2 hours, so had a wonderful time chatting with all you guys. You guys know how much I love all of you, so thank you very much. This is always a highlight of my week, is chatting to you guys, so thank you very much for the support on the channel, and thank you to those of you that have joined the Discord, because like I said, you can join the Discord through Patreon right here, and it really supports the channel, but also it will allow me to actually take my interactions with you guys to the next level, and I'll be able to actually chat with you much more instantly on Discord, where we can type and chat. We can also do voice chats here and there in little segments, and we can also do video chats at points too, when there's stuff we want to really talk about with movies and stuff. So this will be a ton load of fun, so I hope you guys are able to join the Discord, because I would love to chat to as much of you as possible. And as always, it helps support the channel too, so that is the uptick that I need, and then that will allow me to continue to do this. And like I said, I can't wait to chat with as much of you guys as possible. So yeah, to join the Discord, all you gotta do is join that perk on Patreon. You'll get the Discord and all of these perks as well, so there's a ton of value there for your $10. So guys, thank you very much as always. Love all of you, and I can't wait to speak to you next week. So thank you very much for watching, as always, and I will catch all of you very, very soon. Take care.